Welcome to our June-July update. Welcome especially to our new prayer and financial partners. In this video, we wanted to clarify why Nick is off campus, as well as give you a ministry and life update.
Yeah, so with Power to Change, it usually takes anywhere from 3 to 12 months to reach 100% of our financial needs to raise that team of prayer and financial partners. After we reach 100%, we're then able to be taken from the status of being a provisional missionary to being a proper missionary, and we get to report to our assignment, which for us is campus. So for most missionaries, we then take 4 or 5 weeks a year to maintain those partnerships as well.
Our story looks a little different. So Nick was appointed as a provisional missionary at around the end of 2016, and then he spent around 9 months gathering that team of partners. In mid-2017, he was appointed as a missionary and reported to UQ, where he did lots of outreach, discipled a few young men, and led the schoolies mission trip at the end of the year. This story is pretty typical, and it's what we expected. However, what was unexpected was two main things that happened in January this year. Firstly, God answered a prayer that I'd been praying for over a year and a half. I'd been asking God, do I work full-time as an occupational therapist, or do I work full-time with Power to Change? And he replied, part-time OT and part-time Power to Change. I'll use you on both.
Secondly, I lost a bunch of partners, and so I had quite a significant need to find some new people to partner with us financially. And so I was starting to do some of that, and then when Jess joined, we noticed also that there was a number of expense estimations that had been done incorrectly, as well as data entry. And so the amount that we had coming in was quite significantly lower than we thought it had been.
And so the combination of these two factors meant that we had less than 40% of our total monthly needs coming in each month. So as a result, a decision was made for Nick to reduce his time on campus down to 1 day a week. Together we've been spending our time developing this team of partners. Although God has called us at different times and in different ways to this mission, we also believe that God has called us together as a couple to this ministry.
So Power to Change as an organisation sees this the same way. Subsequently, married missionary couples are given a joint account.
Nutmeg! Hello! We have a little cat called Nutmeg. It's our neighbour's cat.
This is
Nutmeg.
This is Nutmeg, who has our neighbour's cat.
We named her Nutmeg.
We don't know what her real name is. We're going to leave Nutmeg on the floor and continue with our update.
I love you, Nutmeg.
So as I was saying, Power to Change as an organisation sees this the same way, and so we're given, as a married couple, we're given a joint support account. And so if you had originally signed up to support me, you're now actually partnering with both myself and Jess. So you're actually partnering with 2 missionaries and not just 1.
Bonus.
What this means is that we both have this financial need, and so we raise a team of partners together. So we're currently at about 88% of our financial needs. Once we reach that 100%, Jess will go from being a provisional missionary to a full-blown missionary, and will be able to come on campus. I'll return to my full-time role on campus, and Jess will be there part-time. Like most missionaries, we'll probably spend another couple of weeks each year maintaining that team of partners. However, taking time off campus for financial reasons shouldn't be the norm.
If you have any questions or concerns or even frustrations around this, please chat with us. Especially to the partners who started with Nick early on in his journey. We realised that proportionally Nick hasn't spent that much time on campus. And we understand that you may feel that your partnership isn't bearing much fruit. We want to assure you that God is working. Even through Nick's 1 day a week on campus, even through our meeting with potential partners.
So we don't see partnership as partners paying for a service or for results. We see partnership as us joining together with the resources that we have in order to see God's work happen, to see His kingdom grow, to see the Great Commission fulfilled. And so while we do everything that we can to facilitate that happening, in the end it's God who brings the real growth. And so, yeah, well, we want to be missionaries for a long time, and as a result, just practically it means that there's a bunch of things that have to happen, and while we'd like to be on campus, this is really important, and we need to get that done, that foundational work done right now to make sure that we can be here for a long time.
Yeah, God has clearly called Nick to this mission, and He has clearly called myself, and we are absolutely certain that He's called us together. So we have no doubt that God will use us in this mission and in this ministry. So thank you for your partnership and for your prayer as we journey with God in this.
As we're at 88% of our needs, we didn't reach our deadline in order to be at NYC, which kind of sucked. But we did hear some wonderful things that happened there. The topic for the conference was courage, and through the talks and the training modules, I think the students were really challenged to be able to walk out boldly and courageously for the Lord, especially for those who did outreach for the first time while they were there.
Please be praying for one of Nick's disciples, Enrique. For those of you who don't know Enrique's story, I'll give you a quick summary. So Nick met him through walk-up evangelism on campus last year, and over a few weeks of meeting up with Nick and chatting about Christianity and exploring who Jesus is, Enrique decided to give his life to Christ. And over the last 9 or so months, we've had the privilege of watching as God has worked in transforming Enrique's life. In the last few weeks, Enrique's been going through some really challenging spiritual struggles. This comes at a time when he's been making some big decisions around his future career, and whether that involves Bible college or a ministry role. And while Enrique is still growing strong in his relationship with God and growing every day, these struggles are real and they're really tough. So please keep him in your prayers.
So please be praying with us for Enrique. Please pray that God would equip him. He would bring the right people around Enrique as he makes these decisions, as he continues his journey as one of God's kids. Please pray for healing for any of the stuff in his past, and most of all, please be praying that as God has been teaching him, that it's God in control and it's not anything that he can do. And so just pray that God would continue to do that work and teach him that.
In some personal news, we have moved house. This is our garden of our new house. We live in Highgate Hill, which is right next to South Bank, in a 1.5 bedroom downstairs part of a duplex house. So it's really close to the South Bank train station, it's really close to UQ, so it's a fantastic, and QUT, so it's a fantastic location for where we are right now, and we hope that it will be a great blessing to be able to connect with students in our home.
On some other exciting news, Jess has just turned 21 on the weekend.
I'm so old.
And so we had a fairy tale themed murder mystery party. That was heaps of fun. But that's all we have for you today. Thanks for joining and hearing what is going on in our lives. We would love to hear what's going on in yours. If you have any prayer requests, please let us know. And until next time, have a good one. God bless.